Welcome to Her Cup of Real,
where we don't sip tea.
we spill it. Welcome back, everyone, for episode 2 of Her Cup of Real. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the word fear. Fear happens to show up when we are ready to grow, ready to elevate, but for many of us, or most of us, fear means that we need to stop or it holds us back. So that's what we're going to get into in today's episode. So, Rosie, what is something fear has held you back from, or maybe even almost held you back? You didn't let it. Like, what's something that, fear kind of almost got in the way?
Well, fear is something that will hold anyone back if we learn later in life to have freedom, right? So let's get into that. Opening up my studio, I own Beachbody Studios. It's an all-women's fitness studio. We focus on strength training and resistance training, and that was always my passion. And it came later than I wanted to because of that fear, and I allowed it. I think that fear, it's not really fear of failure. I want to say it's fear of criticism, because I think that for the most part, we think we're afraid of failing. And it's not the failing part. It's what are people going to say, or are they going to pick me apart, right? That's the first thing you think. And it can be harsh, right? It can be harsh. I learned later on in life that when people do that, feelings are fleeting. First of all, if you behave a certain way, you put out certain content and it resonates with them, they like you. And then you notice that feedback, so that you start doing these types of contents, not really focusing on your authentic self, right? So you start overdoing this because this is what they like. And I think not being your authentic self doesn't really put out what you need to put out, and stepping into that person that would make those decisions, right? Opening up that gym. I know who I am. I know what I want to do in life. And I think if we learn not to focus on that criticism, because at the end of the day, some people will forget what you did. They'll forget what you wore. I'll tell you this, open up my business, I did ask for a lot of feedback, which is good. But I think if you over analyze it and it doesn't align with your values, you'll just do everything based on trying to make everyone happy. And I think it comes down to doing the right thing for you, the right thing for your space, the right thing just in general, and not having to try to make everyone happy. What do you think?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We have to block off the noise in the background and not allow it to stop us from pursuing something.
I tell people it does not matter how you were raised, how you were brought up. You do have the opportunity if you make it. And I had to make those opportunities because I wasn't around anyone that I didn't have my parents, that kept encouraging me later in life as I became a wife, as I became a mother. I didn't have that. My mother never got to meet my children. So I had to learn how to do everything on my own. And essentially that's what I think letting go of fear does. It makes you very independent in your own thoughts.
And a lot of us take it as, oh no, we got to stop. We're scared. Let's stop. Let's not push, let's not keep it going. We're too scared to do it. But no, I think that's when fear comes, that's the moment where you need to.
So let's normalize fear. It's okay.
It's okay.
We all have fear. And if you're not feeling fear, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you even doing? So let me ask you the same question. What is that? What is it? It had to happen in life, I think, when you wanted to do something and there was everything in you that was just like scared to move forward with it. What was that?
So for me, fear was coming in the way of deciding if I was going to continue with my career as a school counselor, or pursue my business, Bella Smiles Teeth Whitening, full time. So I became certified as a cosmetic teeth whitening specialist in 2023. And I started that business as a side hustle. It's like many of us out there, we want to start a side hustle. And that's how I started my cosmetic teeth whitening business. And became Bella Smiles, and through word of mouth and just referrals, Bella Smiles slowly started to grow. And I then got the vision of how much more Bella Smiles was capable of growing. But I was limited because I was working my traditional career as a school counselor. For me, I was so scared to let go of the stability and the security that my career as a school counselor gave me. I was able to break through that fear, and here I am pursuing what has made me the happiest.
Yes.
And
then the criticism at the end of the day, I think they get tested. They are who they are. We get tested.
And I think that's so normal to have that fear of what are others going to say. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there can relate to that. A lot of times we don't pursue something because we're too scared. We're too scared for what the person next to us is gonna think.
It also could be that they're judging because you're doing something they never had the courage to step into.
And let's be honest.
I mean,
most of the time, that's
most of
the
the
case.
time, it's something
Let's
like that.
be honest.
They're criticizing you for doing something they had absolutely no desire to even feel the fear, step into it, and do it as well. And they admire, and it's low key a little admiration.
It is. I think it's a little inspiring. I'm gonna be honest. It's a little inspiring.
And
but
that's okay. They can do it too.
But I think we have to build that courage to not allow that piece of fear, stop us from pursuing something that we want to pursue that's been in the back of our mind. Growing up as the oldest of the family, I feel like there was always different expectations for myself. And so I was always scared to not meet those expectations as the oldest. So my mom passed away in 2020. And after my mom passed away, I felt like not only did I need to build this strength to be there for my dad, my siblings, but also for my own family, like my kids. And I was scared to disappoint.
Almost as if you had to step into this new role.
I guess you can say that, just because even though I wasn't living at my parents' house anymore, my husband and I had already bought our house and had moved into our place or whatnot, but I still felt like, okay, I was always thinking about my dad, like, okay, what is he gonna do now, and so forth. My sister too, because they both lived together, and I was just, there was that fear of disappointment, because my mom was always embedding, go to college, get that 9 to 5, and so forth. And I think it also comes from like just being the oldest, right? You feel like you have to have it all together. It's just always been kind of embedded in me, to have a little bit of that fear.
I think for me, the fear growing up, I didn't really have a lot of opportunities. My father died when I was 15. He was much older than my mother. And then my mother, I think I was about 21. So, or 20, I want to say. And I didn't have a lot of encouragement or role models. I depended on my brother. My brother was very encouraging, and my sisters, we were 7 all together. So that was crazy growing up, right?
That's a wild household.
My. And 5 were women, so we're all stealing each other's clothes. Like, that's mine.
I could only imagine the hormones in that household.
Oh yeah, it was, and we were, in a small home with. After the death of my parents, I will say that we all got really close. We kind of became each other's like parent, I want to say, and we all jumped in and helped in where we could. I made those opportunities later on in life when I didn't really have any resource. I didn't have any encouragement. And I didn't always grow up I would say my 20s, my 30s, I didn't really step into who I wanted to be because I had no direction. And for me, it came later in life. I was afraid of I think losing people or abandonment. And we'll go into that later, but I was just kind of afraid to do things out of the normal because I wanted to stay safe. I was just afraid of stepping out of my comfort and then just going back to the way I was raised. And I just had to learn that fear was not going to have a hold of me anymore, and I was going to do everything it took, and it took after my divorce where I decided that I'm going to step into my own power and who I'm really supposed to
And
be.
that's what I was going to ask you, Rosie. Like, how, like, at what point did you break out of that fear? Like, that you just did not allow fear to get in the way of pursuing what truly made you happy? Like, what made you break out of it, or how did you break out of it?
So a fear that I think a lot of women can relate to is being stuck in a life or marriage that is not meant for you. I think that was probably what got me to be fearless, because I knew that I was risking it all. And, it was a decision I had to make. Um, it involves everyone. It involves your mutual friends. It involves your family. It involves your children. At the end of the day, you want to do what is best for you and your happiness and those around you. So that was probably that moment that I can remember. That was probably the scariest, because for 16 years, this is what I knew. And I was just this person, right? I was that Rosie. I had to now, like, find a new identity. That I had to step into this whole new person with different habits and different mindset. I mean, I went through a mindset change in that moment. You have no idea. And I think that was probably my first step of saying enough is enough. I can't be afraid of living. I need to step into who I'm meant to be and who I'm supposed to be. And that was pretty scary.
And I'm pretty sure, I mean, obviously you're not alone. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women out there that are currently sitting in the past, Rosie, right? They're currently living that life where they want out, but they don't know, they're too scared for that same reason. They're going to leave everything behind. What advice can you give them? What advice can you give them that maybe, I guess, what helped you break out of that fear and finally say, enough is enough?
I don't know the dynamics of every situation. Mine was very disconnected. It was not good for my mental health. Probably not good for his either. If I can say, we were both probably needed to do a lot of healing, and that's what I did, and I hope that that's what he did. But in that situation, I would say that to get yourself in a better place or help or healing, then I found it through church. But I did step into just going forward, just completely changing my mindset and the way I do things. Again, we have this one life, and how are we going to live it? And, your mental health is very important. It completely changed the person I am. And though it was hard on a lot of people, I am now, I think, living in my true passion and purpose. And I know what God wants for me. I'm closer to God. And I have a great relationship with my boyfriend. And again, I needed to understand myself and my own traumas to be able to have that healthy. I'm in the healthiest relationship I've ever been in my life. And I don't even think I had that relationship with my own father. And I think that's what it was. Like, not having that relationship with my father kind of took me to make, bad decisions on relationships. So that is our business fears, right? What got us to that point now? Do we have any irrational fears?
Or like a random
Like
fear?
a random
fear? So actually I do. I am scared of death. Like, it's so weird. I know one day we're here, one day we're not. It's going to happen. It's just part of life. But I think what really comes from the fear of death or of dying is FOMO, like the fear of missing out. Like, for me, it's like, I want to be here for as long as I possibly can to be able to watch my boys reach every milestone. There's still places I want to travel. Like, I think it just, that fear of death it stems from FOMO, just fear of missing out, fear of not being part of, certain milestones or doing things that that are on my bucket list,
Like, you want to meet your grandkids.
Yeah,
you want to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that also means that you need to take care of yourself. You need to eat healthy, work out, because we want to be here as long as we can. I'm like, stopping drinking too, because like that is bad.
I know. I did not see coffee in your cup today, and
No
I kind of
coffee.
question, what are we doing here? And you mentioned that you gave up coffee.
Yes, for Lent I gave up, and that was a fear. I've been drinking coffee for the past like 20 years. I've been drinking green tea. It's still caffeine, but it's not coffee. It's a more natural way of getting caffeine.
Rosie sips tea and spills it. I'm sticking to my coffee right now.
I know. And you know what? I'm so proud of myself because I would get a headache the moment I didn't have coffee past my time.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time I've conquered that fear.
How long have you been without coffee?
Since Lent, what was it? Maybe a couple of days. I started a little late.
A week or two?
Yeah. But that's the hardest part to get over, the first week, because you get the headache.
The withdrawals.
And
I just see for me.
And I sleep better. I've noticed I don't have to take like melatonin
sure.
or anything. I'm just like,
I'm pretty sure, but you're still not changing my mind. I like my black coffee. What about for you? What is your random fear?
I do have a lot of sinuses and I do always have inflammation. So I have a fear of swallowing like large pills. I know.
Oh, I was going to say,
like,
okay, Rosie. Okay.
They're satisfying. I have a fear because, and I always check my surroundings. I'm like, is there anybody here that can call 911? It just freaks me out. I don't
to swallow your pills, like your medication.
That's why I'm healthy. I eat well and I work out because I won't depend on pills. I just need it. I'll get gummy vitamins all day.
Just chew on
that's
chew on
it.
a
I'm
tablet
not on any
and call it a day.
medication. I don't need to be, and that's one reason why I'm like I'm going to be healthy the rest of my life because I'm not going to be injecting anything or taking any pills.
Yeah. See, and for me, it's like upkeeping with like working out and being as healthy as I can be because I do come from a family that is prone to get diabetes, high cholesterol, all the things. And thankfully, knocking on wood, I'm okay. I'm healthy. I do come from a Catholic background. And when our loved ones pass away, my family has a tradition of doing the whole novenario, like the rosary, praying the rosary and so forth, because in our religion, we believe that, your soul is carried to heaven and you're with God. And I am actually a firm believer in that. I know everyone has their different ways of taking death. Some people believe that, some people don't. Some people just look at it like, no, once you're dead, that's it, you're gone, which is completely fine. I think at the end of the day, it's what makes you feel comfortable or what brings you comfort. So for example, for me, with my mom passing away, I believe that she's still with me and she's still watching over me. Gonna get a little emotional here. But I believe that she's still with me and I do see signs of her, but that's what I believe. Whether it's true or not, we don't know, right? But it gives me comfort. And with my fear of death, I know that, or at least I believe that I am going to go to heaven. And because again, that's what I believe. Not everyone is going to agree to that, which is fine. But I believe that once I'm no longer here, I will be going to heaven and I'll continue to watch over my family.
I think that God ultimately designs our life and our footsteps. And I do fear of missing out. I do fear of death. But I do know that when he's done with me here, I have accomplished what he needed me to, if I am obedient, right? And that fear has to go when I know I will be in the most peaceful place ever. And then our mothers will be there.
Yeah.
And my father and things like that. So like I think if we fear death too much, that can hold us back a little bit.
Yeah.
If I can say I have done and used what you've given me and
and I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. And I think I had once my mom passed away, and again, I've had a lot of different loved ones pass away, but when it's someone as close as your parent, you have a completely different aspect to life. And I think once my mom passed away, I kind of looked at life a little different. Any opportunity that comes knocking on my door, I have to take it. I have to take it because you only get one life. So we should never let fear be that stop sign and stop us from pursuing what we want to pursue and what really makes us happy in this one beautiful life that we get.
Well, that is all we have for now. Stay tuned for our next episode of
Her Cup of Real.